All right. Welcome, Totem Pole Nation. This is Lambo's World of Sports featuring the big brother. It's his birthday. He's 23 years old. All right. He's grown. He's done a lot of good things. All right. And he will continue to grow. So it's a special day for a different day later that I'll mention in the next episode. But this game pisses me off in a lot of different ways because every time that Notre Dame has a chance to win, they stunk it up. Now, it was a great competitive game. All right. It was 0-0 all the way until 5 minutes in the second quarter. Ohio State kicks a field goal, and it's 3-0. Then they score a touchdown off a run, 10-0. Then Notre Dame all of a sudden comes back and scores 14 straight. And then it just came down to the final play of the game. Now, before you get into the specifics and the stats, here's the thing that pissed me off. Ohio State play calling and Ryan Day's play calling was awful. So thank God for that jet sweep on 4th and inches. That was the greatest play call ever because every time Ryan Day gets in tight situations, he likes to run sideways on 4th and 1. He did that on 2nd and 11 against Georgia, where they didn't burn enough time. He could make him kick a long field goal. We all saw what happened last year. Ryan Day's play calling is awful. Not only that, Notre Dame had a chance to win that game. All right, they run the ball on first down. I guess the timeout was called. Now, the second and third down stuff I'm really pissed off about, okay? First down play, I think. Sam Hartman tries to do a fake handoff or RPO like he's going to run it, and I'm not sure it was handed off, and then all of a sudden, he took a sack. So that messed it up. That throws it back 5 yards. 2nd and 15, you throw a screen. On 2nd and 15, you throw a screen. And it was almost a pick six. That's how bad it was. Gerald Parker, the offensive coordinator, I will blame you for that one. All right. This situation in the fourth quarter, Ohio State keeps their timeout. They don't even burn the timeout. They keep their timeout. 3rd and 15, you run the ball. Ohio State uses their timeout. Okay. Not good situation in football. Ohio State gets the ball back with like a minute left. Minutes and change, it has one timeout left. Now, imagining if you would have ran the ball, they would have had 0 timeouts left. Now, here's how the situation goes right here. Okay, Ohio State, 2 bad throws, then a 3rd down throw. Then it came, I think, the 4th down. They got the completion. Marvin Harrison Jr. was on lockdown, but I guess their tight end, Abuko, whoever, we just couldn't guard him at all. And then the fact that we played prevent defense on the 30-yard line pissed me off. Of how in the world he got a 29-yard pass. Okay? Now, I think I might have skipped a play because Kyle McCoy actually he didn't even throw to the receiver, so I guess it was intentional grounding. Now, the point I want to get back to as far as clock management, if Notre Dame didn't call a screenplay and ran the ball, Ohio State has no timeouts left. 10-second runoff leads to 5 seconds left in the game, and Ohio State has to throw the ball from at least the 25, 30-yard line. Now, with you giving them the timeout, they only go back 10 yards. They save the timeout. The last time they have 15 seconds left, they save the timeout. All right, and then 15 seconds, boom. Now you play prevent defense, and then he almost goes to the end zone. And then this is the thing that pissed me off that I did not notice until after the game. Notre Dame has 10 players on the field. Do you know how many players you're supposed to have in the football field? 11. You have 10. Like this number right here. You have 10 guys on the field, and your defensive lineman, I knew y'all was going to get scored on. Why do you have more guys to the right side than you do on the left side? You got that left side wide open. All of a sudden, he runs it in with the fullback, or the different running back, touchdown. Most heartbreaking loss in Notre Dame history. Was Notre Dame competitive? Yes, but only the defense could do so much. That right there, what I just explained, is the reason why Notre Dame lost. Please go ahead and explain the rest of it, because I'm done with Notre Dame.
Yeah, God, that was a slow game. That was a slow game to watch. And, Notre Dame had 2 chances in the first half to at least get 3 points on the board. Obviously, the missed field goal is a glaring one, but they also went for it on 4th and 1 at like the 18 or something like that. Like, it's definitely a very makeable kick, and they decided to go for it. They got stopped short, and that's 6 points gone right there from, their overall total. They lost by 3. Not saying that those points necessarily win the game, because stuff could always happen, but you look at the final score, you look at the points they left on the board, it's easy to, point a finger at a play call and then also missing that kick. But like you said, Marvin Harrison Jr. was on lockdown, so the most explosive player on the field wasn't really a factor. But the running game really did it. The Trey Henderson, the running back for Ohio State, 104 yards on 14 attempts, 7.4 yards a carry. Like, I don't know. I mean, he outperformed Audric Estime, who is one of the best, in the country at his position. And it just was slow. The offense couldn't get a roll. It was really tough to watch. And really just came down to who's more hard-nosed, who's winning in the trenches. And in this game, it was Ohio State. Now, I don't think that they won because they're necessarily a better team, because I still think Notre Dame is a top team in the country. It's just, unfortunately, they had to take an L this time. But, I think they'll bounce back. I don't think you should be completely done with Notre Dame. But, yeah, it was, play calling was Like, I mean, you pointed out the major one, but also, like, I think early in the first half, nothing's going on offense. I'd say just get the points. That 4th and 1, I think it was kind of just a little advantageous, and they didn't want to just get the points on the board. And ultimately, it would have preserved the game. So who knows? Who knows? Tough loss.
Well, what Ryan Day had to say about Lou Holtz. I guess Lou Holtz called him out, and I'm not sure what was said, but I guess he questioned their toughness. Ohio State's a tough team. We're not questioning their toughness. I know the kids get talked about a lot. We all talk about the kids. It's Division I football. We want a good product out on the field. We just didn't believe at the time. Now, I'm not sure what exactly Lou Holtz said, but we didn't believe at the time that Ohio State was, that team like they had with Urban Meyer was there when they had, JT Barrett, Dwayne Haskins. Like, Ohio State was, legit and consistent. Now, the strength of schedule is a different topic that I did see about. Go ahead.
I got the quote.
What's the quote?
So I'm pretty sure this is when he was on the Pat McAfee show, talking with Ty, who does an impersonation of Lou Holtz. So that was pretty funny. Anyway, this is what he said. He has lost to Alabama, Georgia, Clemson, and Michigan twice. And everybody who beats them does so because they're more physical than Ohio State. I think Notre Dame will take that same approach. He just called him soft. He just called him soft and called out all of his biggest losses.
Well, he's not wrong.
No, he's not. He's not. But
he's not wrong. I mean, it's not a video game. He's not wrong. He did have a chance to beat Georgia last year. There's no way Georgia should have won that game up 38-24. Less than 8 minutes left. You can't finish the game?
Yeah.
8 minutes left? I mean, I understand Marvin Harrison Jr. went down, but that's after the fact. That was after y'all were up 14. But we weren't. See, we're not questioning Ohio State as a football team. We know they're good. We're questioning them when it comes to the line of scrimmage. That's part of, being physical, which he's right, because how in the world does Michigan beat Ohio State 2 years in a row? Because Michigan is a better team at the line of scrimmage. That's just what it is. Notre Dame was a better team at the line of scrimmage, but they just couldn't finish it out. I mean, they pulled away. I mean, hey, you do your job, you do what you're supposed to do. But the thing that we're not sold about Ohio State earlier in the year, the offensive line is still struggling. The quarterback didn't even throw a touchdown, and we still lost. He didn't throw a touchdown.
Yeah.
That's great defense by Notre Dame. You don't let a quarterback throw a touchdown. I mean, you let the running backs run. That's great. That's fine. Don't let the quarterback throw a TD. The thing that we're questioning about when it comes to Ohio State is you play a weak schedule. You're not the only team because Georgia has the easiest schedule in college football. You play a weak team. You struggle against Indiana. You struggled against Youngstown State in the second quarter. It was 14-10. Then all of a sudden you pull away. Your inconsistencies on the offensive line, the left side offensive line, the quarterback, I understand he's new. The running back and the design play calling is what we were basically criticizing. Your approach to the game. We don't know if you want to go fast tempo. We don't know if you want to pound it and grind it. Or we don't know if you want to use 13 personnel and throw seams in the middle. All right? We're talking about your approach to the game when it comes to Ohio State. We know Ohio State is going to possibly be undefeated until they play Michigan. I think Penn State might have a chance to beat them this year. But the only thing we were questioning is how does Ohio State do at the end of the season? And at the end of the season, Ohio State doesn't do anything. All right, they lose to Michigan, and I think they're going to lose to Michigan again this year. But my point and my concern for Ohio State is we talk about them so much. They have so much potential. All of a sudden, they get to the game before the national championship and fold. What do you do after that now? But that's what we're questioning as Ohio State. Ohio State, not that they don't have a chance, but we've seen it in years. Oh, Ryan Day's 45-6. Ohio State, they shouldn't fire him. All this other stuff. Now, I agree you shouldn't fire him at 45-6, but I mean, all this hype, all this talk about recruits, you get to a big stage game and then you fold. So how do you think somebody's going to – what do you think somebody's going to say about your team? You going to get there just to lose? So, like I said, Ohio State won. I'm still not sold on Ohio State, by the way, because like I said, from watching that game, they weren't that damn good. They weren't that good. There's no way. It was two low-scoring games. Last year was 21-10. This year, 17-14. That's a good Notre Dame defense. That's a great Notre Dame defense for holding Ohio State, a Big Ten team, to 17 points. What can the defense do? 17 points wins your games. And if you can hold any team, especially in NFL, to 17 points, you can win. What else had to be done? Notre Dame lost because of inconsistency as far as personnel and offense. Do you have any last words about this?
No, I think that was a beautiful way to close it out. Just let all your frustration out.
Yeah, I will. The frustration is let out. But there's not only the frustrations let out. I think the next episode, ladies and gentlemen, MattPatt was right about the University of Oregon. Not that only he was right, Colorado got their ass whooped, and it was bad. Yeah. Okay, they lost the game in the third possession of the game, and they lost the game when they went for a fake punt. Now, Dan Lanning, I like what he said, but we'll talk about it in the next episode. All right, do y'all still believe in Colorado? Or, is Oregon on a trend to possibly make the national championship? That's going to be the next episode of Lambo's World of Sports. All right? So we'll catch you the next 5 minutes of the episode. We'll be talking about Colorado versus Oregon, which I was wrong and parlay messed up again. Sad.